Let's go! Adrenaline! Adrenaline! Running through my veins! Hello, I'm Robin Banks, and welcome back to the Formula X1X Championship. The British Heart Foundation provides funding for research on all kinds of heart disease, defects and tech for the future, including mechanical hearts and transplants. It's a very close-to-home charity, so we support it all we can. And you can too. Just tap in bhf.org.uk on your web browser. Any donations will be gratefully accepted. Round 7 and we're in Belgium, and the Spa-Francorchamps circuit located between the towns of Malmedy and Francorchamps. Spa is a high-speed technical circuit utilizing the mountainous environment of its location for its many ups and downs. The track is praised by many racing drivers as being one of the most challenging in the world, and we will have to agree. It's a long lap combining flat-out sections with long twisty corners and a bus stop chicane at the very end, thrown in for good measure. The track is 4.3 miles in length with a longest straight of 750 meters and has a total of 21 corners. A very unfortunate spin at the Nürburgring for Carlos Puntarino resulted in gifting Rico Mortis his 4th win of the season and elevating Rico to a 29-point lead in the championship. Carlos recovered to bring home 2nd place, with Damon Puntarino completing the podium in 3rd. Make no mistake, the gap to the front is ever decreasing, paving the way for one hell of a second half of this championship. I'll hand you over now to our ex-race driver and technical guru, Dave Unshaw, who has been out in his car this morning doing our lap focus. Dave said he loves this track like a case of hemorrhoids and has done nothing but mutter under his breath all morning. How's it going, Dave? Many thanks, Robin, as I come out of the bus stop chicane, and you're right, I hate this place. As we hammer down the main straight towards La Source, turn 1. It's a really sharp right-hander here. 40 mile an hour first gear for here, then on the gas, watching that exit, trying to keep as much traction as you can. Down the hill towards Eau Rouge, a very scary part of the track here, Brian. Hanging on for dear life as we go through here at 172 mile an hour in 6th gear, and down through Radion and onto the Camel Straight, reaching speeds of 181 mile an hour in 6th gear. It really is fast here. Then on the brakes, into the right-hander of Les Combes. It's 97 miles an hour, 3rd gear through here, and then into that right-hander and down towards Rivage. Hitting the 154 and then dropping down to 74 mile an hour 2nd gear around this long right-hander. Into the left-hander, the turn 9, 107 mile an hour 4th gear, and then hitting 163 mile an hour down towards Buon. Just touching the brakes, we slow down to 166 mile an hour 6th gear through here, and then down towards the Thames chicane, 178 mile an hour, 5th gear down to 112, 4th gear through this chicane. Gotta really watch this exit here as it can push you into the gravel trap very easily. Down towards Stavelot, 96 mile an hour 3rd gear through the right-hander, and then coming down to Paul Freire, 142 mile an hour 5th gear, and then building speed all the way down this back straight. Turn 16 coming up, it's a little left-hander, and then we hit Blanchmont at 181 mile an hour 6th gear through here. Keep it nice and tight and don't go out onto the green stuff, it can really spin you out. And then we start the slam on the brakes down into the bus stop chicane, down to 46 mile an hour 1st gear through here. It is really hard to get an exit out of here, but you're literally 50 yards from the finish line. It's make or break on that turn itself. Good luck, guys, you can have a great race. I, on the other hand, are glad it's over. Back to you, Robin. Many thanks, Dave. I know you hate that track. He says it's far too technical for him. Well, they did a very good job. Our grid line up today with a staggering 151.7 is Damon Puntarino on pole position. In 2nd place, Archie Angelo, and in 3rd, Rico Mortis. In 4th, Brian Messiah, and in 5th, Carlos Puntarino. In 6th, Artie Fanati, and in 7th, our wildcard Slugsy Malone. In 8th, Halen Van Eddy. In 9th place, Alex Anders, and in 10th, our other wildcard Gert Bees. And in 11th place, and rounding out the grid, Simon Bouquet. Looks like the weather's 21 degrees and nice and sunny and our track temperature 27 degrees. As we line up on the grid for the 7th round of the British Heart Foundation Formula X1X Championship from Belgium. Engines are revving. They're holding him quite a while this time. And we're away. Artiangelo gets an awful start with David Puntorino flying off in the front. Everybody else passes Archie and leaves him standing for dust. Can we get through the first corner nice and clean? Everybody does, that looks good. David Puntorino already trying to pull out a bit of a gap. That was one hell of a lunge off the grid. Halen Vanetti charging down for Eau Rouge like a bullet from a gun. Up the hill and into Radion. And then the start of the Camel Straight. Rico Mortis is getting swallowed up by, 4 cars? He has no chance here. Everybody else has got the slip. Rico's got nothing. Free wide into Lake Home. Can he get through it nice and safe? Brian Messiah slingshot through. So did Alexander's. Rico pushes him out wide. Slugs him alone on the dirt. Down towards the Rivage. Into this long right-hander. Slugs him alone. Simon Bouquet getting all kinds of out of shape. Down through into turn 9. Heading down towards Pouhon, reaching speeds of 165 miles an hour. This is absolutely incredible stuff. A very, very fast track indeed. Down they go towards Fate. Halen Vanetti doing all he can into this very long chicane. Through Fades they go and down towards Stavelot. Who can get it stopped? Who can get the drive out of here and up around Paul Frere and onto the Blanchemont Straight? I don't care what Dave Unshaw says, this is one hell of a track and it's very, very fast here, people. It's almost blink and you miss it. They're heading down now around Blanchemont down towards the bus stop chicane. Good piece at the back there. Halen Vanetti loses his braking zone and almost slams into the back of the pack. That's cost him nearly. That's put him back to 9th place. Artiangelo, meanwhile, has creeped back up to 8th place. Slugs him alone, getting a good drive up the inside of Halen Vanetti down into La Source. Can he make it stick? He does. Fantastic move. Simon Bouquet bringing up the rear. Down the hill they go. It's very steep here and lining yourself up for that awful entry into Eau Rouge and up to Radion. Very scary up here, folks, but a very good place for an overtaking maneuver. If you're in the slip like Carlos Puntorino and Artie Fanati trying to get up the inside of Rico Mortis, is there any way Rico can fend off this attack? It doesn't look like it. Kurt Bees is joining this party as well. Absolutely phenomenal stuff around Les Côtes and down towards Rivage. I'll tell you what, I'm out of breath already. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Slugs him below, totally running in 9th place. Down the hill towards Pouhon, chasing after Artiangelo. It's flat out in top gear around this corner here. Just got to be careful you don't go wide. Artiangelo shoots up the inside of Gerd Bees. It looked like he ran wide. You catch that green stuff on the exit. It is very, very scary indeed. Slugs him alone and Halen Vanetti looking for a way around Gerd Bees. They ain't wasting any time whatsoever. Out of Stavelot and down towards Paul Frere and up the back straight. Slugs him alone, shoots up the inside of Gerd Bees. Can he make it stick? Gerd Bees on the inside though. Halen Vanetti tries to go out wide. Can he get around him? Halen Vanetti's on the grass. Side by side they go down towards the bus shop chicane. Who will get it on the brakes? Slugs him alone. What a fantastic stop there. All 3 of them got through. That was incredible stuff, folks. Hats off to our wildcards, folks. They are putting on a great show today. I should think they're bedding themselves in quite nicely. What do you think, Dave? I'll tell you what, I was on the edge of my seat then. That was absolutely brilliant stuff. Halen Vanetti nearly lost it on the grass. That was absolutely brilliant. Well done. That's the kind of stuff me and Dave love as we're watching Brian Messiah being hounded by Alexanders and David Puntorino sweeping off into the distance. Once again, Damon's got great pace. Damon always has good pace, always at the start of the race. He tends to lose a little bit of grip here and there though, because he does really push these cars to the absolute limit. I'll watch some on-board footage and I'll tell you what, he is absolutely on fire with this car. Absolutely awful start for Archangelo, Dave, but he's back up to 7th place already. I don't know what happened there. Archie's normally pretty good off the line. He must have been fiddling with something, I should think, when the lights went out, and that cost him, big time. But yeah, you're right, he is almost on the back of Rico Mortis now. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Rico pushed all the way back to 6th from 3rd place. Will Rico, do you think Rico's going to win this one today then, Dave? Archangelo on the grass. On board with Rico Mortis chasing Carlos Punterino down the back straight towards Blanchmont and down towards the bus stop chicane. You can see how much they pick up speed in that slipstream, Dave. They do. I'll tell you what, when you come into the braking zone as well and you're already going 10 mile an hour faster, I'll tell you, you won't half feel it. Rico dives up the inside into the bus stop chicane. Can he get it stopped? He does. That's a great move by Rico there. That's put Rico Mortis up to 5th place. Hello, looks like a few cars spat out there on exit. Looks like Gert B's caught that as well. I wonder if we get a replay of that, Dave. I'm not sure what happened there. I know exactly what happened there. You come out of that chicane, and if you get on the gas a little bit, here we are, here we go. It's not a good view angle from here, though. I see Slugsy span out. Yeah, Gert B's did it as well. You come out of there and, you're following the pack, and I'll tell you what, all you want to do is stamp on the throttle, but it's the worst thing you can do. As we watch Rico Mortis with Carlos Punterino in hot pursuit, and Archangelo on the back of this pair as well. Carlos has surely got the slipstream down the back straight. It's called the Kemmel Straight, Robin. I know what it's called, Dave, but I ain't got time to say it. Archangelo shoots up the inside of Carlos Punterino. What a lovely move. Can Carlos get it back? Archangelo goes absolutely airborne and loses the rear of the car when he lands. My word, Dave, that must have been absolutely frightening for Archangelo. I'll tell you what, I saw 2 pairs of tear-offs fire off then, one when he hit the thing and the other one when he was in mid-air. I'll tell you, that was real scary stuff there for Archie. I'm amazed he landed it as well as he did, but it put him back in 9th place. That's such a shame. He was doing so well, but now he's harassing the arse head of Gert B's. I can't believe you said arse then. You never said anything like that. It's always like tear bottoming or whatever. And, most of the time it's actually tear arsing. Well, I do make an effort to try and keep it clean for the younger audience, Dave. No, you do, and I applaud you for that, for sure. As Archangelo dives up the inside of Gert B's down through Blanchmont and down towards the bus stop chicane. But can he get it stopped? Takes the defensive line to hold off Gert B's into the bus stop. Can he get a good exit? Can B's hold it this time? He does. Very, very good. That looked like Simon Bouquet in the background there with Slugsy Malone. Archangelo getting in and out of La Sauce as quick as he can with Simon Bouquet and Slugsy Malone not that far behind. They'll make up quite a bit of time down through here as long as they can just stay in that slipstream. And up through here, I'll tell you, Robin, you go up through here at 170 mile an hour near enough, and it's blind over that crest, and it's scary as hell, it is. Slugsy Malone is doing exactly that. He's using the slipstream of Simon Bouquet and makes a lovely move around him. Down towards Les Combes. Turns into Les Combes, just skimming those green rubber posts there, Dave. They are horrible. What the hell are they for? I don't know. I haven't seen them anywhere else. It's only here, but they really do scrub off speed when you hit them. It must, make a hell of a mess of the front spoiler. Who's this here, Dave, running in 3rd place at the start of the race, eh? I'm so excited for I. It looks like he's got... Oh, what's happening here? Blimey, that was Alexander's crash in there. That was frightening stuff because you're on the gas there, and he span really, really quickly there, letting Rico through as well. Rico's now up into 4th place. At the front of the pack with David Punterino, who looks like he's going to be having Brian Messiah for company very, very shortly indeed. Brian's also a bit of a dark horse here. He's got some pace as well. I tell you, he's going to be good here today. I know one thing though, Dave. Rico's got some work to do here, that's for sure. Rico will be thinking, just keep it smooth. Do all you can. Just let that, tick those laps off one by one. Make sure your pit stops work well. make sure they're timed right, and just keep it going. And his main focus really would be to stay in front of Carlos Puntarino. That's the closest one to him in the championship at the moment, folks. And yes, he will definitely be trying to keep one up on Mr. Puntarino, but we all know what Carlos is like. He is, exceptionally good at what he does, Dave. He is very, very good at, there's no doubt about that. And you know that Carlos is going to come good. There's just, it's going to happen. Brian Messiah is surely in the slipstream of David Puntarino down the back straight, or the camel straight, as Dave puts it, as he lights up the inside. That really sort of rattled David Puntarino there, that Dave. That did, you could see that. He was swerving a little bit as Brian come past. I'm not sure he expected that, but he would have seen him coming on his radar. It's funny you should mention the radar, Dave. I don't think, think folks know what you mean by that. It's quite cool. They've basically got a little display on the dashboard, and it literally does look like a radar. And you can see on it where the car position is that's closest to you. So if someone's like trying to overtake, or hello, Kurt Beats has gone wide, that's cost him dearly. That's put Simon Bouquet up the inside as well. Yeah, so as I was saying, you've got these radars, and it'll literally show you where the car that's next to you's position is. It's really, really good. All I want to know, Dave, is does it go make that bing noise as it, picks up a car? Is there like a needle thing swinging round and it goes boom every now and again? Does that work or not? We ain't in a submarine, It doesn't quite work like that. Well, I think it would definitely benefit from a bing or a bong or something like that for sure. I'll tell you what, you're sat in one of these cars going round here at 180 mile an hour, you can't hear bugger all apart from wind and engine noise. It really is loud. Funny you should say that, Dave, because the other day I saw Rico walking away, from the podium, and they were all shouting and hollering at him that he dropped his hat. And, he couldn't hear a thing. That ain't far from the truth, I tell you. You come out of it, and it takes a while to get the noise out of your ears, and like the ringing and all that going on. It was Brian Messiah that kept complaining a while back about the ringing noise he kept hearing after one of the races, and it turned out that he'd still got his phone in his top pocket. Yeah, I remember that, and the Bert, it was his wife ringing him up, asking him what he wanted for tea, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was great. I heard she normally rings him up and tells him he has to be in by 9. Yeah, I know. She don't bugger about. Oh, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be aware, unfortunately, we have run out of toilet paper in the toilets by the bus stop chicane. We have provided an alternative, but it may not possess the same softness as your regular brand and may have a slightly greasy texture as it's been harvested from the bin outside the local fish and chip shop. We are sorry for any inconvenience. Thank you.
Did I hear that right, Dave? There's no way that we are using toilet roll, but it must be newspaper, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've just seen a couple of guys go past with a pair of scissors and, a couple of bundles of paper just then. I wondered what that was all about. Surely to God, all the grease and the batter and all that still left on the paper would be absolutely horrible to wipe your nether regions with, surely. Mate, you ought to man up, when times are hard, you've got to, make sacrifices. I'll make sacrifices anywhere, Dave, but not my bottom, thank you very much. As Slugsy Manode fires his way around Archie Angelo down towards the bus stop chicane, Archie almost slams into the back of his teammate. That was a real clench-fest underpant tearing moment there, Dave. I'll tell you what, he ain't pitted yet either, so that's all that lot gone now. He'll be looking at that little dashboard readout on the tear-off underpants system, telling him how many he's got left. And he'll be starting to sweat a little bit now, I should think. Have they, what's the word? Have they made it so there's more in the pack now or not? Because I know they're on about extending it to like 10. in the magazine, but it only ever really got to 3. I think size was an issue, Dave. You know, there's no way you could get 5 or 10 tear-off underpants in the cartridge that would, that would sit under that seat. There's just no way. Yeah, I suppose you're right. They are quite big, really. You know, when you see the crowd holding them up when they've caught them, you know, it's like a bloody flag, isn't it? I did see one the other day where somebody was holding one up and there was actually a ray of daylight coming through a hole in the middle. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know what happened there or whose they were, but my word, that did look painful, whatever it was. Well, I would imagine that they wouldn't have caught the whole package if there was a hole in the middle of it. My God, it must be. We'll have to ask around and see whose car it was that come out of. Do they have like anything like a serial number or anything, Dave, so that they know, what lines they came off of the factory in, or anything like that? Not that I know of. They might be coded to the car. I don't know. I'll have to ask about, see if I can get some answers on that. Good question, Robin. Simon Bouquet in 8th place, chasing after Artie Angelo down the back straight. Saturner and the girls will be on their feet, shouting, "Come on, Daddy!" We know that for a fact. They support him every round they're here, jumping up and down, shouting, "Come on, Daddy," and all that. Kurt B's a wild card, settling into the setups. He looked like he had a hell of a lot of understeer there, that Dave. I saw that. Them wheels were right over. He was, definitely pushing that thing, really, really hard. Nice livery, though. It is, isn't it? They tell me it's based on, the sponsors from Valentino Rossi, which is, very nice. I like it. Yeah, it looks great. We haven't seen this guy for a while. Artie Fanati all over the back of Damon Punterino. Can he make a move down the Camel Straight towards Lecombs? Pops out of the slipstream and goes up the outside, which puts Damon on the defensive side. Artie's going to have to outbrake him, Dave. He does. What a maneuver by Artie Fanati. Absolutely fantastic stuff. He really is on fire this round, Dave. He is. Absolutely brilliant to see Artie Fanati at the sharp end of the stick, that's for sure. Damon Punterino's right on him, though. He ain't going to give up that easy. It must be absolutely terrifying being that close to the car in front, Dave, doing it 180 miles an hour or even 100 miles an hour around these corners. I bet it's absolutely terrifying stuff. It is, but there is a certain amount of trust. The guy in front, you know where he's going to brake. You know where he's gonna go. Pretty much, you can sort of tell by the car language, where he is on track and where you need to put yourself in a pretty quick moment, really. That's just for racecraft. That's all that is. Well, I am in absolute awe of some of these guys' racecraft. It's absolutely fantastic. In fact, all of these guys' racecraft, they're all absolute legends here. Rico Mortis has gone into pits. Isn't he gone into pits already, Dave? I thought I saw him go in on lap 8. He's gone in on lap 9 as well. I was ever thinking about that. Unless something went wrong in a pit stop, that may be what it was. We'll have a look into that, folks. Damon Punterino, on the other hand, is chasing Artie Fanati down through towards Eau Rouge, trying desperately to get into that slipstream, but Artie might just be out of reach. No, he isn't. Damon slips lovely into that slipstream and goes up the inside of Artie Fanati, absolutely revving the socks off of this car, Dave. It does sound like he's revving the absolute, whatever you want to call it, off of it. I know that. Straight into that sausage. He come off the ground then. Did you see that? Into the right-hander of Les Coons and down towards Rivage. Really quick down through here it is. It's nothing to these guys as David Punterino pulls a slight gap already on Artie Fanati. Pushed back to 3rd place, but he won't be happy with that. These guys will be on fairly fresh tyres too, so the pace is going to be quite hot here. Looks like Damon set the fastest lap of the race so far. Rico Mortis back out of the pits. He must have made a mistake in the pit stop somewhere, Dave. There's no way he would go out for one lap and back in again. Makes me wonder whether there was some problem with either a repair or, it could have been wrong tyres, or even he could have not had enough fuel put in. It could be something like that. It's definitely put him back into ninth place, though. He was running in fourth just now. That is such a shame. But he ain't wasting any time trying to get around Gert Bees. Look at this, up the inside, round the outside. Gert's got to be on old tyres or soft, something like that. I think you're right, Dave. There's no way he'd get around him as fast as he did then. Simon Bouquet, Gert is almost in a Team Kawasaki sandwich by the look of it. Slugsy Malone trying to get onto the back of Halen Manetti. Down into the bus stop chicane. Hopefully they've been able to acquire some more or some proper toilet roll, hopefully. I'll tell you what, I bet you there's some pushing and shoving around that loo. I'll tell you, 'cause, you know, when the COVID was on and we had them running out of bog roll in the supermarket, my God, you'd think they were, nicking gold. I'll tell you what, Dave, you're not far off, because if you run out of toilet roll, that pretty much is just as what's the word? Valuable as gold, I would have said. You ain't far wrong there. Halen Manetti trying to get onto the back of Alexander's, who's running in a really, really good fifth place. Very solid possession for Alexander's, doing a cracking job. Halen Manetti rigging the neck of that X1X car, kicking up dust, sliding into the corners. On the meanwhile, back at the ranch, David Punterino looks like a scalded cat. I bet Artie Fanati can see the whites of his eyes in the side mirrors on the car, and that radar will be going definitely bing bong, Dave. It doesn't go bing bong, Robin. It doesn't do anything like that. You've been a Burke now, so now pack that up. We're going to take a vote on this. Who thinks that the radar ought to go bing bong? I rest my case, Dave. That's everybody. I shall have to have a word with Hats Off Kerberger. I'm sure he'll knock something up, that's for sure. Brian Messiah running in first place. Brian could take the win here today. That would really give his championship campaign one hell of a boost. If the race finishes the way it is now, that would put Brian up into second place. That would be really good for his campaign. You did right there, Robin. I know in my water that Brian Messiah will definitely want to win this championship, and so will Carlos Punterino and everybody else who's taking part in it. There's no doubt about that. To get that prestige of champion is absolutely mind-blowing for these guys, folks. Alexander's really holding his own here out of bus stop chicane. Slugsy Malone spins out. That's twice he's done that now. That is, he'll be almost out of tear-off underpants, I should think. So let's go down to pit lane and have a quick word with our ex-alcoholic and Saturday night guru, Paddy Fitzwendy, who's down there talking to our special guest. How's it going, Paddy? Many thanks, Robin. I'm down here in pit lane talking to Robin and Blind.
Och, my name's Blaine M. Robbins, for crying out loud.
Sorry, Blaine. It looked like something else on me sheet. Anyway, Blaine here is head of finances for the championship. So, can you tell us a figure of what it costs to run a championship of this magnitude?
Well, it depends on what the organisers want to add to the whole cake, as it were.
Add, you say? What do you mean by that?
Well, you have to secure the calendar for all the rounds of the championship first. I'd normally pull from our funds somewhere in the region of about 50 million, as each round costs about £100. Then if you start to add things to the bill, that's where the real money is spent. As I said, if you want trophies for the podium, champagne, flowers, the podium also costs money, so that would add up to around 350 per round.
I assume you're talking of in the thousands, of course.
No hundreds, keep it to yourself, by the way.
So where is the rest of the 50 million spent?
That would go on organisational costs, mostly, for example, making phone calls to book the events, the film crew and the team, including yourself, Robin and Dave. Then there's the marshals. The list really does go on.
So you spend about 10,000 per round. So where does the rest of the money go?
You know, this and that. That and this. How long's a piece of string, eh?
This and that, Robin. Bear in mind this guy drove here in a Bugatti Veyron. We're in Tartan, Armani. While we crammed into Dave's Red Reliant Robin in our feckin' Fords. I need to join the organisers, I think. Back to you.
Many thanks, Paddy. And I'll tell you what, Dave, that sounds like we ought to start thinking about putting our prices up.
I've had a pay rise, Robin. I spoke to management a little while back, and I've upped my money. Well, you kept that quiet. Why didn't you tell me? I'd have come in with you, and we could have got a better deal with two of us. Well, they did say, don't say nothing to that Robin geezer. So, I didn't. I like to, be responsible and be very trustworthy. You can be trustworthy all you like, but Slugsy Malone is about to go around the outside of Rico Mortis down the Camel Straight towards Lake Combe, and Rico won't be very happy with that. Into the combs they go, into that left-hander, and then swoop around into that beautiful right-hander and down towards Rivage. Down the hill, Rico desperately trying to get back up into some kind of top 5 position. Whether he'll do it or not, I don't know, Dave. He's way back. He is way back, but he's on the back of Slugsy Malone again as he goes onto that green AstroTurf there. That's slippery as hell. You want to stay off of that, Rico. Into that right-hander. Slugsy goes way wide and Rico follows him. Slugsy's into the stratosphere and coming back on track. Shoots straight in front of Rico Mortis and into the fades. What do you call it, Dave? It's not really a chicane there, is it? Well, it's kind of a chicane, but it's not. It's too wild. Oh, that looks like Slugsy let him pass then. Definitely slowed down there. That was a good battle, though, Dave. They were giving it some welly there, I tell you. That was brilliant stuff. Carlos Punterino in 4th place. If he finishes up this way ahead of Rico now, this could really put Rico's championship in jeopardy. Rico will be doing all he can to try to get back up to Carlos, and it's going to be damage limitation for Rico. He's really just got to bring it home now. He's got to, like you say, Robin, he's got to try and get up to at least, sort of Halen Van Eddy or even beyond if he can. Top sort of 5 would be good. If Carlos is in 4th and Rico finished in 5th, it wouldn't be such a bad result. We shall definitely find out after the race what actually happened to Rico. It definitely something is afoot there for sure. Fanati running in 3rd position. Great to see this guy up the front sharp end, Robin, I tell you. He is, is where he should be. He's a very, very good driver indeed. Totally agree, Dave. Whatever happened, it's definitely working. That's for sure. As he goes onto the AstroTurf, he nearly would have lost his set of underpants then, that's for sure. Around that left-hander of Buhan, that's incredibly fast through there. If you blink, people, and you see the guys like in the crowd there, if they went past you, blinked, you'd miss them, I tell you, they're that quick. Archangelo slipping back down the order to 10th place. With Gert Bees bringing up the rear in 11th. Simon Bouquet, however, is in 9th, which is pretty good, Dave. I'm sure Simon would want to be a bit further up than that. It's this track, in this car takes a lot of getting used to, I'll tell you. I still ain't got it right now, and I do have some really scary moments whilst I'm trying to do these lap focuses, I'll tell you. Do you get a lot of time, Dave? I know you sort of, you must get some practice in before you do your actual lap focus. I do, the good thing is I'll generally get the morning all to myself, nobody else on track, and I'm able to then, learn it, and, I do get some help from the driver's mind. I would not go around in one of these cars without at least talking to, the likes of Damon or, Brian or Rico or even Carlos for that matter. They're all very helpful. I bet when you first jumped in this car and hit that accelerator, it was one hell of a clench fest, Dave. I literally got flung into the back of the seat, and I tell you what, these things don't half go. As Halen Van Eddy is hounding the back of Alexanders for that 5th place. Halen wants top 5, and even better if he can make it. Halen tries to slip out of the slipstream and go up the inside, but it's not going to work there. He's got a little bit of drive now, but who's going to be late on the brakes into Lecombs? Can Halen get that position? Alex is late on the brakes. Slips in front, back in front of Halen. Halen will be shaking his fist and chasing after him like an absolute madman, I would think. Alexander's getting a good entry into Rivage there and a good exit following that, the rubberized line. That's always a good start there. Doesn't go wide, keeps his focus there down into Pujon. He'll be just easing the throttle around here a little bit, because if you don't, you do exactly what Halen Benetti did there, and the tear-offs flew off then, I saw that. Halen's not had that many accidents at the moment, Dave, so I'd imagine he's fairly good for tear-offs, I would have thought. Halen don't really have that many accidents, really. He has, you know, a few here and there, but, you know, not total wrecks, that's for sure. I tell you what though, folks, when you do lose control of one of these cars, you would definitely feel it, isn't that right, Dave? I'll tell you what, they grip like there's nothing you would believe, and they're that fast, and the brakes are that good, everything is really brilliant. But when you lose control of one of them, my crikey, I tell you, you do absolutely, you know, mess yourself if you ain't careful, you know. That's exactly what the tear-off system's for, Dave. David Punterino, Halen Benetti, Alex Sanders are in the pits. And he's got quite a good fuel load there though, Dave. I'm not sure how many laps he would have done. I'm guessing Halen's done at 8.8, so he'll do 7 laps now in this run. So I would have said he's probably done 8 laps, and yeah, that's not bad. He's done pretty well on fuel there. Slugsy and Damon's quite low there though. I suppose the different driving styles and all that sort of thing, you know, would make it different for each car though. Oh, absolutely, you know, not everybody drives the same. Other people have their cars set up differently, you know, you use more fuel, less fuel, you know, same with tyres, exactly the same. Damon Punterino is terrorising Simon Bouquet down through the Camel Straight. But he's on the outside and Bouquet's got that inside line. Can he hold him off? Damon Punterino was very late on the brakes there, which really put Simon Bouquet off there, Dave. That was a clinch fest for Simon Bouquet there. I don't think he expected Damon to come round as quick as that. That really unsettled him there, which obviously caused him to hit the grass and, you know, clip against the barrier there. I bet Saturday was had her hands over her eyes then, Dave. Yeah, she'll be watching the big screen like everybody else will be. Artie Fenati into the pits on lap 16. This is a replay, Dave. What's happened here? Brian Messiah slipped onto the grass on the pit lane entry. That's let Artie Fenati through into first place. If Artie gets out the pits before Brian, Dave, he could very well overtake him here. You watch this space. Artie Fenati's almost on exactly the same fuel load as Brian. He'll bang some tyres on and he'll have that few seconds extra time to get out the pits in first place. That could very well put him in a really good position here. I bet Brian will be absolutely furious with that mistake. It seems that Rico's not the only one in this round, Dave. We all make mistakes, there's no doubt about that. You know, when pressure's on, it's very easy to slip up here and there. Does happen. Simon Bouquet in 6th place now. Will he pit on this lap? I would imagine he probably will. Yes, Simon goes in the pits. Kurt B's doing all he can to get to grips with this car. Takes a bit of getting used to. Doing a phenomenal job. Not easy to slip into this championship and, go quick straight away. We all had to start somewhere. So long as he, if he decides to stay in the championship and he, gets a good team behind him and, somebody who can work with, set up with him and all that sort of thing, he'll be quick here, Gert will be, I tell you. If you look, he is very smooth driver indeed. He'll be good on tyres, Yeah, he's looking really good. He does look very smooth, Davey, although he's, new to the car. You'd think he'd been driving it for a little while. He's definitely getting the hang of it. There ain't nothing like being thrown in the deep end, to get the hang of driving anything, really. Just get on with it. You were right, Dave. Artie Fenati is now in first place with David Punterino desperately trying to get up to the back of him, and Brian Messiah's in third. This could be all change, or what I like to say, the changing of the guard. Oh, he's got a really good chance here. He's got to keep his head now. Get his head down, keep hitting those markers, keep it smooth, keep the tyres going pretty well. Don't burn too much fuel and just, try and pull that gap. And if you can't pull the gap, just maintain it. He'll be watching that timing clock, and that there's like a clock that shows the gap between the drivers so they know exactly how far they are in front and behind. So it's it's very easy to see what's going on in the race. We do have some very useful stuff at our fingertips, that's for sure. It really does work too. You can see if they made a slip up behind, because the gap's obviously got bigger or smaller if they're doing well, and whether you've got to push or you can relax a little bit. Not that you can relax in this championship at all. I'm surprised, to be fair, Dave, that a few of them haven't actually got a chauffeur that would take them round the track in the race, and they can sit there, reading the paper and drinking champagne. Don't give Ants off Burger any more ideas. We'll have a tandem car next, where the chauffeur's up front and Rico sat in the back with his feet up, smoking a cigar. That might not be such a bad idea for a new championship, Dave. Chauffeur X1X, what do you think? That sounds like a rubbish idea for a championship, mate. Really? I'd be up for that. You'd probably spill your champagne all over your short and curlies, I should think. Rico Mortis in a gifted 7th place from Slugsy Malone, trying desperately to get up to the back of Alex Anders. We've got literally, 6 laps to go? Well, 5.5 laps now. Rico's got to try and make up a couple of spaces here to get, damage limitation on Carlos Puntarino, who's currently still running in 4th place. I'll tell you what, he's just got into pits, he's on fresh tyres, and he is going to be driving the wheels off of this thing now to try and catch up with Alex Anders and everybody else. This is like the final split of the race, and it's going to be, everyone now is going to be pushing really, really hard. Speaking of pushing really hard, Brian Messiah is right on the back of David Puntarino, and he is definitely within slipstream range as David Puntarino loses a little bit of grip on the exit of La Source. Down the hill they go. Artie Fenati's got a nice comfortable gap at the moment. David Puntarino goes over the grass. Surely he would have a penalty, Dave. That was one hell of a cut through. You're all right, penalty's popped up there. He's got half a second penalty for that. Brian Messiah's gone up the outside. He is really out dragging Damon down through here now. Can he get him on the brakes into the combs? Beautiful move by Brian Messiah. That was very well set up, that was. He'll be trying to get up to the back of Artie Fenati now and get that lead back. Artie Fenati will be definitely watching his timer and thinking to himself, he's on his way. Artie's no stranger to pressure, though. He will definitely be watching all his markers and braking at the right spot, doing everything absolutely by the book. I'll tell you what, Brian is pulling away from David Puntarino. Alex Anders is in a good 6th place, and Rico is almost, he is definitely catching Alex Anders for sure now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be aware that we have now run out of fish and chip shop paper in the toilets by the bus stop chicane. We have, however, been donated some paper from the local carpentry workshop. I would advise you, however, to be very careful when using the new paper, as it can be very, very rough. Thank you.
We will have to talk about that in a minute, folks, because Rico Mortis is right on the back of Alex Anders, trying to find a way around Paul Frere. Can he get Alex down the back straight towards Bloodspot? Looking for that slipstream. Alex is swerving about a bit, trying to put Rico off, but Rico is desperately trying to find that time. Can he make a move down into the bus stop chicane? Alex goes for a defensive line that holds Rico off. Alex doing a fantastic job in defensive driving, but goes a little bit wide, spins out, catches Rico. I tell you what, Dave, if Rico hadn't have been there, Alex would have spun right round then. That would have, you're dead right there, Robin. He was about to lose that there, and if Rico was just in the right place at the right time there. Will Alex get the drive out of La Source and down into Eau Rouge? He is in the slipstream. He'll definitely go for a move around Rico again here, Dave. There ain't no doubt about that. Alex will not let Rico go, I tell you. Even though they're old teammates, he will definitely, as he has done. That's it, job done in the slipstream. Pops out. Can he get it stopped, though? Rico might try and move up the inside, but Alex blocks his entry into that corner. Very good through here, Alex Anders is. Lovely, lovely through there, very smooth indeed, but Rico's on the back. I don't know what kind of downforce Alex will be running, but if Rico's running more, then he'll have more grip through these corners. No doubt about that. Rico Mortis trying to find a way around Alexander's. Into Puhan they go. Alex goes wide. Rico gets up the inside. That was unfortunate for Alexander's there, but Alex tries to get him on the cutback. Rico's late on the brakes into the chicane. Out into that left-hander. Yeah, Rico's pulling a gap already on Alexander's. Alex will be kicking himself there. He went wide and left the door wide open for Rico Mortis, who wasted no time whatsoever in trying to get past. That's what happens with these guys, you know, all of them are exactly the same. You know, if you leave the door open, they ain't going to waste any time in barging through it. There's no doubt about that. Artie Fernati holding his own, well, sliding and scratching up the side of the pit wall. They won't be very happy with that, him leaving his rubberized line on that. He'll get a slap wrist at the end of it. But I tell you what, Dave, Brian Messiah, who got past David Punterino, is closing in on Artie Fernati. Oh, he knows he's coming. Brian's coming up rapid now. I tell you, this could be one hell of a finale. I remember these pair at Brands Hatch. That was absolutely incredible. Absolutely brilliant stuff that was. And when these pair get together, it is really good racing. I tell you what, folks, we are on the edge of our seat here. We have 2 more laps to go. Well, 2.5. Brian Messiah desperately trying to put himself into striking distance, but went wide there and ended up on that AstroTurf. That'll ruin his exit out of there. Down into Puhan. Artie Fernati very, very quick through here indeed. Brian doing all he can to try and close that gap. Artie Fernati doing all he can to maintain that gap. David Punterino surely settled for 3rd place now. Slugsy Malone in 8th place. Great position for our wild card. Alexanders gets all kinds of out of shape. Absolute clench fest from Alexanders. That led Slugsy Malone straight through into that 7th place. And he's pulling out one hell of a gap already on Alexanders, who surely was hanging on to that steering wheel like his life depended on it, Dave. He would have been there, I'll tell you, when that arse come round on that car, he would have been absolutely, you know, he pulled his fingernails out of that steering wheel, I can tell you. Slugsy Malone now in 7th place. Rico in 6th. Alan Manetti in 5th. Carlos Punterino 4th. David Punterino 3rd. And Brian Messiah in 2nd, with Artie Fernati leading his first race of the championship. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Whatever they gave him, Dave, it's surely done the trick. I would imagine they strapped a rocket to that thing. That's what's happened. Carlos getting a little bit out of shape. Tyres are nearly at the end of their life now. But Carlos in a really solid 4th place. He's in front of Rico. That's all that matters. Doing a cracking job, Carlos Punterino. He's just thinking now, bring this home. Just keep the sunny side up on this grey stuff. I tell you what, Dave, Carlos Punterino has really won one hell of a lot of races in all these championships. There ain't no doubt about that. I would go so far as to say that he is probably the most, you know, had the most wins in all of these championships. I would say. Don't quote me on that, but we really ought to have a count up over who's won what over the last 3 championships and see who really is, you know, really is the top dog, if you know what I mean. That's not a bad idea, Dave. What have we done? We've done Campeonato, we did the Meisterschaft, we did the Jenny Tilwood Cup, we did the Podium GT3 Cup twice. What else have we done? And this one. There's quite a few now. Yeah, we've got quite a few championships, that's for sure. Alan Manetti in 5th place. Rico Mortis is coming. He's closing that gap. Gert Bees doing a fantastic job in 10th place. Just bring it home, Gert. Get those points. He's a wild card though, Dave, isn't he? The points don't really matter. Nah, the wild cards ain't racing for points. They're just racing for experience at the moment. And they're doing a great job at that, that's for sure. So we're on the penultimate lap, folks. Almost at the end of round 7. Round 8, we go to Monza. And I tell you who's really good at Monza, Dave. I know exactly who you're going to say. And I know 2 people that are really good at Monza. And they're probably 4, to be honest. And that's going to be Carlos, Damon, Artie and Brian. They're really quick round there. I fear it's going to be all that Rico can do to, get a good result in that race. Although, to be fair, he didn't think he was going to do well at the Nürburgring, and he did. He won it. Yeah, that was a surprising win for Rico there, I will admit that. He was never really good at the Nürburgring, but he won it. And, I know Carlos made a mistake, which, gifted him the win, but, he's won it nevertheless. Brian Messiah, surely Artie Fernati has got that lead now. It would take an act of the devil to ruin Artie's chance, but Brian's still there, still trying to make up ground. He's not a million miles away, Dave. I'd say Brian's probably about a second gap there. That would take a blink of an eye from Artie Fernati to ruin this now. Here we go, last few corners. Artie Fernati coming into the bus stop chicane for the final time. Surely he's got the win here. Brian is right on his jacksie. Artie Fernati wins at Spa-Francorchamps. Brilliant stuff with Brian Messiah in second and David Punterino crossing the line in third. Carlos Punterino coming through the bus stop chicane, keeping it on the grey stuff. Brilliant result for Carlos Punterino. He's in front of Rico. That's all that mattered. Halen Vannetti and Rico Mortis. Rico was right on the back of Halen there, Dave. Slugs him alone in 7th, but Alexander's in 8th place with Simon Bouquet in 9th. Great stuff, Simon. And Gert Bees bringing up the rear. Bringing it home in 10th place. Phenomenal stuff. Well done, guys. What a great race that was. So let's take a look once again at the race results. With Artie Fernati in first, Brian Messiah in second, David Punterino in third, and Carlos Punterino in fourth. Halen Vannetti in fifth, Rico Mortis in sixth, with Slugsy Malone in seventh, Alex Anders in eighth, Simon Bouquet in ninth, Gert Bees in 10th, and Archie Angelo, who did not finish. So let's take a look at the podium. Artie Fernati takes the top step of the podium for the first time, with Brian Messiah in second and David Punterino in third. Brilliant stuff, guys. Well done. So let's take a look at the championship results so far. Rico Mortis on a whopping 151 points, with Carlos Punterino on 126 and Brian Messiah on 115. David Punterino with 110 points, with Artie Fernati jumped up to 88 points, and Halen Vannetti on 71. Alex Anders on 61, Simon Bouquet on 47, Archie Angelo on 45, Lydia Champagne on 24, who did not race, and Wyatt Earp on 10 points, who also did not race. So let's take a look at the team championships after round 7. At the top of the table is Team Kawasaki on 179, with Team Anus Sunoco on 154, with Alien on 117 and Team Tiger on 113. British Racing Team on 96 and Affinity Racing on 63 points. That's it, folks. In a fortnight's time, we broadcast from Italy at the historical Monza circuit for round 8. But for now, from me, Dave, and the team, thanks for watching. Take care and goodbye.
Let's go!